Miss Appelusa. Today we are doing 2-foot spins. I'll walk you through beginner all the way through advanced ways to do a 2-foot spin, so you just stick with the technique that works for you. The beginner way to do a 2-foot spin is just to march in a circle, keeping your heels close together and opening your toe of the direction you're going. And try the other direction. You'll notice I'm keeping my arms out for balance. Now the intermediate way to do a 2-foot spin is to keep your wheels attached to the floor. We're going to just do 1 foot at a time to create this circle. I'm going to turn towards the left because that's my easy way. If you want to go to the right, that's fine. We're actually going to go both directions, so I'll walk you through that. Keeping your weight on your left big toe wheel and your right inside heel wheel, we're going to press down on those 2 wheels as we rotate to the left. Now I'm going to start with my left foot, pressing down on the big toe wheel and bring my heel towards my right heel. And then I'm going to take my right foot, keeping my weight on the inside heel wheel, and bring my right toes towards my left toes. So left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. And we're just continuing like that. Weight on the left big toe wheel and the right inside heel wheel. Left foot, right foot. You're bringing your left heel towards your right heel and your right toes towards your left toes. That's going to be really important when we start to do the advanced way. Let's try the other direction. So keeping your weight on your right big toe wheel and your left inside heel wheel, we're turning towards the right. So starting with the right foot, bring your right foot heel to heel and your left foot toe to toe. Heel to heel, toe to toe. Trying to keep the weight in between the feet the best you can. Once you've mastered that, you can try to go a little faster. Maybe you even hold and find a little bit of a glide in there. As long as you're keeping your weight on the left big toe wheel and the right inside heel wheel, if you're turning to the left, if you hold with your momentum, you could find a little bit of a glide in there. Make sure you practice going both directions. Whichever way is easiest for you, you can definitely continue practicing that way, but it is good to work both directions because you're using both sides of your brain. Now, one thing that might hinder you from doing an intermediate 2-foot spin is the stickiness of your wheels. If you have outdoor wheels on, they're gonna stick to the floor. So you really want to make sure you're pressing down hard on those pivot points so that there's really not as much stickiness there. Or you can try getting some indoor wheels. I do have wheel recommendations listed down in the description. This stuff takes practice. So I would recommend doing this 5, 10, 100 times till you get really good at it before moving on to the advanced way to 2-foot spin. But let's go ahead and learn the advanced way to 2-foot spin. Let's start with our feet parallel and underneath our hips, about hips distance apart. And I want you to start by turning your hips and shoulders as far as you can without moving your feet. And then try the other way. I also want you to notice that your head is staying right in between your feet. We're not leaning the direction we're rotating. That's going to be step 1 and step 2. Now from there, we're going to try to just rotate with both feet. So instead of doing 1 foot and then the other foot, we're going to pull both feet isometrically around in a circle. So you're going to be pulling your left heel towards your right heel and your right toes towards your left toes at the same time isometrically. Now that 1 and 2, position 1 and 2 that I showed you at the very beginning, turning the hips and shoulders as far as you can is 1 and 2. And then bringing the feet along isometrically would be 3. So hips and shoulders 1 and 2, feet are 3. Now 1 is a little bit of a wind up. I want you to be careful not to wind up too hard. We're just really pulling gently. And I want you to bring your hands towards each other to make sure we're rotating our shoulders and you're not leaving your arms behind. So I have my left arm in front and then I'm going to rotate to this position. Okay? So keeping my weight on my left big toe wheel, my inside heel wheel, I'm already set to go. My knees are soft. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Maybe you only go halfway around, and that's okay. You build upon that. Maybe the next time you make it all the way around. You won't be able to see my hips move, but really I'm pulling them. If your hips continue to pull around, you'll continue your spin. The minute your hips stop rotating, it's going to make you stop the rotation and the spin. So let's try that a couple more times. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to try going the other direction. Right inside big toe wheel, left inside heel wheel, right arm in front. That's 1, 2, and feet will be 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm actually going to be lifting up some wheels. If that feels uncomfortable for you, don't do this part. Come back to this video when you're ready. I'll make sure that I have the time sequence listed below so you know right where to go to. So I'm going to do a little bit of an exercise here. You'll see my feet separate a little bit, but that's more because I'm standing still. Try to keep them together as much as possible. I'm going to be lifting up my right toes and my left heels and seeing if I can find a little bit of a balance. You might need to do this holding onto a chair or a countertop. Make sure this chair is steady. Okay, now I'm bending my knees and then coming up slightly. So this would be your 3. It would be 1, 2 is your rotation, and up on the 3. But that's an up and rotate. I'm still isometrically pulling my left toes, my left heel towards my right heel, and my right toes towards my left toes. Okay? Also keeping weight in the center between your feet. The most common mistakes I see is favoring one foot, so you end up rotating kind of like this with your weight over one foot, or one foot, if you're not turning in your right toes towards your left toes, that foot ends up getting open and stuck to the side. You really have to pull your right toes towards your left toes. That isometric pull circular is what's going to make the spin happen. All right, so if you've practiced that enough, and again, if you want to do the opposite, if you want to go to the right instead, you lift up your left toes and your right heels, and you could try that for going to the right. Okay. So I'm going to do my 1, 2, and then I'm going to start to lift up on those wheels, keeping my feet underneath my hips, and see if I can find a glide. Maybe you just go halfway around, maybe you go all the way around, or maybe you go really fast. Well, that's it for 2-foot spins today. Beginner all the way through advanced. I hope this was beneficial for you, and please stay tuned for more videos. If you did like this video, it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time.